黒澤明が描く壮大なる女子誌、世界中を沸かせたあの興奮、再びスクリーンによみがえる7人の侍、最後の公開。
黒澤明が描く鮮烈なる女子誌、これぞ娯楽映画の原点。世界中を沸かせたあの興奮が再びスクリーンによみがえる。7人の侍、最後の公開。
Welcome to the Japanese movie reviewing session. My name's Alex.
I'm Mark,
I'm Mike.
and we're doing The Seven Samurai today.
So, Michael, can you tell us some basic information about this movie?
Well, this movie takes place in Japan during the late 16th century, and it involves the warring states of feudal Japan. Some of the stars of this film are Takahashi Shimura and Toshiro Mifune. This movie was released in 1956 and was directed by Akira Kurosawa.
Thanks a lot, Michael. I'll tell you a little bit about the plot of The Seven Samurai. It starts off in the feudal states of Japan. Villagers cannot grow the rice because of constant raids by outside bandits. They decide to hire some down-on-their-luck samurai. The samurai train the villagers to defend their village, and in return, they pay them with rice and shelter. In the end, they defend the village from bandits. After the raids are over, the villagers shun the samurai. Now Michael's going to tell us a little bit about the reality of The Seven Samurai.
The story of this film was not based on a true story, but it was still historically accurate.
Like how the farmers and the samurai were at different social levels, and how also the samurai were affected by the gunpowder of the bandits.
Now Michael, can you tell us why there weren't any famous people or events in this story?
There was no famous person in the story because it was still based during feudal Japan, so there was no one ruler of Japan to base the movie off of.
So guys, how did this help you better understand the early modern ages of Japan?
It showed how gunpowder had a huge effect on the battlefield, and since the bandits only had 3 muskets, but even the samurai knew when they saw the guns that they still had to retreat.
And it also helped me understand the social classes between and the differences between the samurai and the
This movie
peasants.
also helped me understand the feudal system that was taking place in Japan. There was nowhere for the villagers to run to. They had to defend themselves. I'd like to introduce our new guest, Mladen. And in this section we are going to talk about the props and the setting. Let's start off with Mike.
The props were realistic in this film because they really did use muskets and saddles when the bandits were attacking the village.
And even though they had muskets, during this time they couldn't fire muskets twice in a row, which they did in the movie, and it would have taken at least several minutes to do so.
The setting in this movie was also accurate because outside of the village were various mountain ranges and many trees. Now we are going to evaluate The Seven Samurai. Let's start with Mark with the positives of the film.
Well, I really liked how the director used different camera angles to film different shots to get you a good perspective of what was happening. And even though the movie was 3.5 hours long, it kept my attention the whole time. And I also appreciated how well the actors did.
Toph, how about you?
Well, the story was hard to follow at some parts, and since it was really long, it was just difficult to understand.
I think we got a good sense of the culture. So what do you guys want to give this movie?
I'd give it a 9.
I agree.
So 9 it is. The Seven Samurai receives a 9.